Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Coding My Way In. And today I wanted to address a question that I was asked about how I'm able to record the sound if my microphone and my headphone is not activated. So fun fact, I actually don't use the microphone of my headphones. I actually have a microphone here and I just use the headphones just to use them because I'm so used to listening to the tutorials and videos and things of that nature using my headphones. So it's more of a comfort thing, but I actually don't need them at all to make the videos. So that's the only reason that I wear the headphones, but they work, the sound and everything. I just don't record the vocals when I have a microphone for that. So that was the answer. So what did I do this week? So I finally finished the Postgres tutorial, which I'm so happy. I'm so happy to be able to say that I have a tech stack now, which is React, Tailwind, Node, Express, and Postgres. So now I have learned the basics and the fundamentals. So now it's like putting everything together. And for those that are new to the channel, this is the PostgreSQL tutorial that I took. I actually took it on LinkedIn on the e-learning platform so I could get the certification, but you don't have to. You can go on YouTube and for free. This is the training for, it teaches you the fundamentals of how the pgadmin works and how PostgreSQL works, and it gets you very familiar with SQL and its different queries and things of that nature. So if you are new and don't know from where to start, and you want to learn about databases, relational databases, this is the spot. I recommend this tutorial 100%. I learned so much from it. It's 3 hours long, and the pace is great. The way the instructor teaches is amazing. There's little challenges that he gives you so you can do them yourself, and you actually build to an extent a real project, and which makes you familiar with the platform. So I truly recommend this to anyone. And again, it's free. You can take it on LinkedIn on the e-learning platform so you can get the certification. But if you don't care about it, you can just do the YouTube video tutorial and you'll be just fine. It's the same content. So now I wanted to show you a little bit of the things that I learned. So I learned about the servers, I learned about the databases, I understood, this is the project that we were working on. Kinetico is a solar company, and I learned about the schemas and how it's structured and how you put schemas, and within these schemas you have the tables which have these columns that you add data, and then you use different keys for like the primary key, which is like, it's going to be like the main thing that is not going to change. But then you have situations that you have different columns or categories that may correlate with one another, and that's when you want to, how can I say this? You want to connect the two different tables that may share something in particular, and that's called a foreign key. So I learned about foreign keys and how they are applied, and I also learned about constraints, which is a very important topic because you want to limit the information of who has good or how access is or how data is entered within the database. For example, a good simple example is here. Here was a constraint. So the constraint here was this had to do with employees, and the constraint just has to do that moving forward, we want to make sure that the hire date is greater than this date, which is 2023, January 1, and that's the command that you give, the check, the definition. And based on this validation, this check, this goes into the constraint, and moving forward, it just only adds employees starting from this date, so you can't go backwards. And then you have, for example, you have also this one, the departments. Was it this one? let me see, was it employees, constraints? Oh, I have to check on the manufacturing. Here it is. So this is another one that had a nice constraint, and the constraint was basically, wait, am I in the right place? Now I'm in the good place. So another thing with the constraints that they help you is like, let's say you have in the database you have 2 columns. For instance, for the sake of the example, you have 2 different markets, domestic and industrial, and you want to make sure that whoever adds information of whatever market is, you want to make sure they spell it correctly. So you go here to the definition and you make sure and tell the SQL, hey, or Postgres, they need to make sure that domestic is written like this and that industrial is marked like this. So if you try, for instance, try to let me see, if you try to put like any information that it doesn't belong there, is not going to take it. And for example, if I try to add something that is not domestic, let me do 10 Izzy. Now if I try to do something here and I put domestic and I try to save it, it's not going to do it. Why? Because the constraint shows that the spelling, the correct spelling, is domestic. So if I try to save it like this, boom, save it, it goes through. So let me delete this. But that shows you, it's a very simple example, but it shows you the power of constraints and why they are so important. So you can make sure that you check the spelling is correct when it's entered. You can make sure like if there's like a price, they cannot write like a negative one, like a minus. So the importance of constraints is very cool. Also, the last thing I learned was about login. So how you give access to people, and based on different commands, you are able to, let me see if I have the query history. Yeah. So based on different queries, you can give somebody they're either able to check the tables, the data, they're able to edit them or to delete. So you can do different things, and this is some of the, where are you? Here it is. It's called privileges. So based on these queries, you can give and grant permission to individuals to be able to do different things, and you can also take them away. And then I like the fact that there's something even more powerful than a user, and it's called a super user in Postgres. That's like the master. You have control over everything, and you grant access or take access from people. So this is very powerful as well. I learned how to save databases, which is very cool. I just gotta go to backup, and I just create a file. I can put it here. I'm gonna name it like this. But before I do that, I gotta go to data. I gotta go here. I can create it here. I save here. That's gonna be the path, and then you're gonna make sure it can be any of these formats, but tar is like the archive. And then you make sure that the sections you pass the pre-data, which is just the architecture of the tables and the columns, and then the data of the data, and then the post data, which is anything after the original data that you might have created. And then once you have all of that, really, all you have to make sure that the path is correct, and then you hit backup, boom, started, process completed, and then it should be here, right? And then let's say I wanna I upload that to probably like a Google Drive. I can upload it and then access it on a different computer, and I can just go easily just create a new database. I can put new _ kinetical, save it. It gets created here, very simple. And then what we do is we go here and we go restore. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the format, which is custom or tar. You're gonna leave it just like that. You go to the file that you saved and you download it, open, restore, and boom, boom, and then you want to refresh it. And once it's refreshed, all your information is there again. So that was very cool to learn how to restore and do backup for your databases. So that was very cool to learn. So I learned also the way that they do things, like the queries are in capital, and the commands, so the areas that you want to access, so the schemas and the tables are done on lowercase. So if you see everything is lowercase, everything is done on purpose. And their space, they use the underscore. So they have a method that they do things, and it's very cool. I can go on and more things that I learned, but I would run out of time. But I learned a lot on those 3 hours, and it became very practical. They also taught me how to stop the server, because it has a server, and you go to the section of services, and then you can either do it from here, or you can do right click it and you can stop the server and stuff, and then once you stop it, the database stops working, and then you just gotta go and do it again. There was another way that he taught it, going directly to the program files, but I just like, it's too much typing, too clicking intensive, when I can just do 2 clicks and be done with it. But it might work for other people. I like this method a lot more. And yeah, that's everything I learned about so far. And now the thing is, I need to go back to my project. So I know you guys haven't seen this in quite a while, but it was on pause because I really wanted to get a foundation of the backend with Express.js and Postgres. So now that I took these tutorials, I'm happy that I learned the material. So now what happens is, now I need to, yes, congrats, I was able to learn basics and fundamentals, but now I need to find a way to apply what I learned into this project. So now here's where it gets tricky, because now I need to figure out what I'm going to do. So far, for those who are new to the channel, you're able, is focused on Nissan. You're able to see different vehicles. If there's a vehicle that you like, you go to details, it takes you directly to the vehicle. You're able to see the overview and different details of the car. So the next step is going to be, I need to be able to create a user experience of, once you hear, I need to make sure that the user gets access to purchase the vehicle, because this button doesn't do anything, the Buy Nissan. So once you are looking the vehicle that you like and see the details, if you like what you see, then you need to be able, as a user, to be able to purchase the vehicle. I'm going to be using Stripe. I have no idea on how to use it, but that's the point of being a software engineer, right? Learning these things. And then I also have a contact us form. So when you submit, it goes straight to a mock server that I have, a mock JSON file. So now I need to really figure out how Express.js and Postgres is going to be used in this project. So if you guys have any recommendation, you guys can take a look on the project. This is the repo. It's an experience. This is the link that you guys can go and see the project for yourselves. But that's basically the overview of the project. So I just need to be able to figure out how I'm going to do this. And yeah, the goal is to make this project a full stack application. And I feel that with the tools that I've learned of Node and Express and Postgres, I'm in a better place now to learn and be able to really take this project to full stack, which is currently only a front end application. So again, if you guys have any advice on how I can put these techniques together, meaning the Express and the Postgres, please let me know in the comments. Let me know. I'm going to start doing my research on how I can make this happen. And I also will go to a coding meetup on Sunday, coding coffee. I'm going to bring my laptop and I'm going to speak with all the developers there, and I'm going to tell them this little turmoil that I'm having right now, how I can put these things that I learned together. But nevertheless, thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one. Peace.